so many fun different makeup looks for the holidays that I feel like I could do a million tutorials, but I want to do one that is very simple and that you don't need a certain eyeshadow palette to do. This whole entire eyeshadow look will be done with bronzer, one of my absolute favorite drugstore bronzers, the NYX bronzer, and a highlighter. So I'm going to use the Benefit highlighter, and this is in the shade Cookie. So starting with a little bit of that bronzer on my brush, I'm going to do a halo eye. So halo eye looks kind of funny when you first start out, but you just have to blend it all together and it really does work. So I'm going to close my first eye and pat a little bit of that bronzer just right on the end of my eye. And I'm going to do the same thing for my corner. I'm just going to swirl my brush into that bronzer, tap it off a little bit, and then pat the bronzer into the inner corner of my eye. So you can see those two sides starting to take shape with that bronzer color. I'm moving over to my next eye, swirling and tapping that bronzer onto my brush and patting it onto my eye. Now this step you don't have to be totally perfect at. We are going to blend this all, so really focus on just getting the amount of pigment that you want. Okay, for the middle part of my halo eye, which is what makes this eyeshadow look a halo eye, I'm going to take my concealer, and this is just a pot concealer. Right in the middle of my lid is where I'm going to put that concealer. So in between the two dark circles that we blended on. Pretty much. A really good trick to do while you're putting your concealer on, if you don't know how high to go, is you want to put a little bit on. It's already a little too late for me since my concealer is pretty much dry, but you can look up after you put your concealer on. It will leave a mark right at the top exactly where you should stop your concealer. So try that when you are doing this step. Okay, now with that done, I'm going to take my Cookie highlighter and probably just use my finger for this one. I'm going to take a little bit of that highlighter on my finger and pat it right into that concealer. Okay, I know that does look a little bit crazy, right? But I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and that bronzer again, and now I'm just going to blend a little bit of that bronzer into that highlight area. And I'm just making sure that there's no harsh lines, basically. So I took a little bit of that bronzer left, and I'm just flicking a little bit of that color out and blending everything together. This eye looks pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and start blending out my left eye, and I'm taking a little bit of that bronzer again on my eyeshadow brush and making sure there's just no harsh lines between the eyeshadow and the bronzer. You want it to look really seamless, so just keep blending. One of my favorite things to do for eyeshadow to really make the look pop is to use a light eyeliner in my tear line. So this is a Sigma Cleanup Highlight Brow Crayon, which I'm not using it for that purpose whatsoever, but I'm going to pull down on my eye a little bit and add a little bit of this light, I'm going to call it eyeliner, into my bottom line. Isn't that pretty? It just adds like a nice little pop. So this eyeshadow look is basically done now. I'm going to add just a little coat of mascara and apply some lashes, and I will be good to go. While my mascara is drying a little bit, I took just some of the Cookie highlighter and I'm going to pop a little bit in the corners and then also just right above my brow bone. This is the new lash Grace that I have added to my Be Lashed collection. This lash is definitely on the shorter side of lashes. So if you are a beginner or you want something that looks a little bit more natural, this is a stunning lash. It will look so good on any eye shape, which is what I wanted it for. I'm going to apply this one so you can see how it looks on my eye shape. I'm also using my brand new lash brush on glue. So I'm going to take one of my lashes and just brush that band with a little bit of glue. Now this goes on white but dries completely clear and really only needs about 5 seconds to dry. before you can start applying it on your lash. I'm taking my lash applicator and a little compact mirror that I can look into, and I'm going to place that lash right on top of my lash line. I feel like this lash looks just like classic lash extensions when you get them done for the very first time, and you know they look so clean and you're just like, yes, that is exactly how I feel right now. To finish off this look, I'm going to use a little bit of mascara and apply that to my bottom lashes, just a small amount, nothing crazy. If you ever do get too much mascara on your bottom lashes, I always take my finger and kind of brush up, and somehow magically it always gets rid of the extra mascara. I hope you have the most wonderful holidays. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions about my new lash glue or my new lash grace or any lash questions, head over to shopbelash.com, and there is a chat section where you can chat with me about any questions that you have. And I hope you guys have a great holiday season.